Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. First things first, I apologise that I haven't posted in the past 2 or 3 weeks. If you can't tell by the sort of overcast, drizzly weather that we have, I'm back in the UK. But delighted to be back here for winter and hopefully a little bit of late autumn as well, actually, just to get my teeth stuck into some landscape photography. So yeah, looking forward to it. And today I'll get straight into today's adventure. I'm in Shropshire. If anybody doesn't know Shropshire, it's kind of central England, a little bit to the west, actually borders with Wales, and it's a beautiful part of the country. It's kind of quintessential English countryside, really. So hopefully going to try and convey that with today's vlog and even today's images if I can. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, the weather's not ideal, overcast, drizzly, but it is supposed to sort of clear up a bit later on, around about sunset, which is in about 3 hours time. So keeping my fingers crossed for that one. So I'm going to crack on with this hike, guys, see what I can find on the way up, so let's go. So guys, it is challenging. The conditions are pretty horrendous, if I'm being honest. The clouds haven't broken up whatsoever. It's grey, it's dark, it's very dismal, but I'm really going to try and work with it. I'm just in this bit of woodland just before the ascent of Caercaradoc and looking around just for something a little bit more intimate because of the conditions. There's quite a lot of trees that have still got quite a bit of colour from autumn, which is a bit of a surprise through the back of the woodland, and I'm really going to try and make something of them because I'm not feeling very hopeful for any decent images up the hill because there's a lot of sort of low-lying cloud and stuff like that, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to look for something a little bit more intimate around here, I think. So guys, I'm going to shoot my first image here. It's going to incorporate the tree that I showed you in fact, before I get into it, I should probably mention I'm using a Nikon D810, and you will have seen footage from my drone as well. Now the drone is mine, which I've bought. So excited to have it, and hoping it's going to improve my vlogs, and excited to show you my home country with it and stuff like that. The D810 isn't mine, it's my mum's. She's also really into photography. She does portrait photography, and she trusts me enough to let me borrow it outdoors. So really stoked to be able to use it because it's pretty much my dream camera, I'd say. And this is my mum's lens as well, which is a 24-70 f 2.8 Nikon lens. So yeah, pretty much got my dream set up, to be honest. So excited to be home for a while. Anyway, into this image, I've got a bit of an idea of a kind of juxtaposition, which is something that I've been reading about in the Outdoor Photography magazine. And basically there's a couple of juxtapositions here which I want to try and explain to you. I've got this tree trunk here in the foreground of the image, and then in the background there's this tree with all the autumn colours which I mentioned and showed to you earlier. Now the first juxtaposition for me here is colour. So the tree trunk in the foreground is quite bland and very simple, and it's pretty much just one colour besides the moss on the bottom. But then the tree in the background is just a kind of explosion of different shades of orange, yellow, green, and also the branches on that tree are really dark as well. So yeah, pretty cool juxtaposition. And the second juxtaposition would kind of be like texture. So the tree trunk in the foreground is quite smooth, quite uniformed, whereas the tree in the background with all the autumn colours, again, it's quite messy. It's not uniformed in the slightest. So nice little juxtaposition, and like I said, it's something I was reading in the Outdoor Photography magazine and something I want to try and incorporate into my landscape photography. So pretty happy to do that today. Shooting at f3.2 ISO 64, which I'm happy to do on this camera, and looking around about 1/3 of a second, using a polarizer on the front of the lens, which is really just helping to give the image a bit more saturation and bring out those colours on that tree behind the tree trunk. And then I've got a 2-stop soft edge graduated ND filter, because there is a bit of the sky in the top third of this image, and it's just helping to bring down the exposure on that a little bit, because it's quite bright. So pretty nice first image, I think, guys. Let me know what you think.
Something's wrong, I waited up, wounds on my feet. Where will you be? Flickering through memories, the Polaroids yellowed in the sun, longing to be seen. So come and hide with me.
So guys, I'm on the ascent, about 1/4 of the way up. It's one of them where it's like it's only about 45 minutes or an hour to the top, but it's a strenuous hike, so got my work cut out a little bit. The sky looks like it might be breaking up. You can't see any sort of blue sky, but the clouds are starting to brighten up a little bit, so keeping my fingers crossed that we might get some nice images. But I'm going to carry on with this, and hopefully we're not in a ball of cloud at the top. So let's go.
Now the moon is full, the stars are bright. They call you up just to hear your voice on the machine. Nothing will be like it was, but you will always be my first choice, just as it seems.
So guys, unfortunately we didn't really get a sunset at all. We're about half an hour after the sunset time now, and the cloud cover was just way too thick, so nothing happened at all, unfortunately. So clutching at straws a little bit, but I've got a bit of an image here, I think. I found these 2 rocks here, and there's a sort of crack that goes in between them that I quite like. Kind of stood out to me as a bit of foreground interest, so I'm going to go for that. And I'm going to have that fill the kind of the bottom half actually of my whole composition here, and then in the top half is just going to be the town down there, which is called Church Stretton. Now what I'm going to do is shoot at f2.8, focus on the rocks down here in the foreground. Excuse me. Focus on the rocks down there in the foreground, and then hopefully the town Church Stretton in the background will be kind of faded out, and there won't be any sort of focus on it at all. It'll be very soft, and then a tiny bit of the sky there at the top as well. So shooting at ISO 64, which is crazy that I can still do that because it's pretty dark. F2.8, which is probably helping towards that, and then a 10-second exposure. And I'm shooting at, let's have a look, shooting at about 35 mil. So I have zoomed into the rocks a little bit, and yeah, like I say, about a 10-second exposure. So hopefully that turns out to be a nice little image, guys. So thanks very much for watching, guys. That's me done. Little bit disappointed that we didn't get a nice sunset, but it's been an amazing adventure, and really glad to be home. First one since I've been home, like I said. So happy I've got that under my belt. Thanks again for watching, guys. Cheers, and hope you enjoyed the images. Feel free to comment below and give the video a like, that sort of thing. So I shall see you next week. Cheers. Bye bye.